I recently read a book about the freedom model. The freedom model essentially shows you a way on how you can break your addictions. And after I tried it, I broke all of my addictions with ease. That's why I want to share with you the most interesting aspects of the book, so you can break all of your addictions after this video as well. So, the book talks about two new mindsets you need to have. The first concept or mindset is that there is no addiction at all, and every human has full control over his actions. This means that you can freely choose how much you want to consume, either to stay absent, or to use at a low doses, or to use at a high doses. And the new principle you need to learn is the positive drive principle. This principle states that every human chooses what he believes makes him the happiest. So if you think you will be the most happy with heavy substance use, you will use heavily. And if you believe that you're better off not using, then you're not using. With these two things, quitting addiction is incredibly easy because, first of all, you are not addicted. And as soon as you truly believe it, then you're free to go. And the second thing is that you just have to see abstinence or low doses use as the happiest option, especially long term, and prefer it above heavy substance use. And after you've done it, quitting is already done. I also want to cover some false beliefs here. The first false belief that a lot of people have is that they are genetically addicted. This means that they have to use substances heavily because of their genes. This makes absolutely no sense because your brain is not affected by substance use. Your brain is rather affected by habits, meaning what you do during the entire day. Another false belief is that you crave something. Cravings are not actually real. It's the same with addiction. If you believe you crave something, then you start to crave it. If you do not believe you crave something, then you don't crave it. A lot of people believe that addiction is a disease as well. This is also not true because no one really wants to get sick. No one, for example, says, yes, I want to get cancer or something. No one really wants to have a stroke, but people choose freely to use substances. Because of that, addiction cannot be seen as a disease, because people choose to freely do it, and no one, as I said, wants to be sick. Considering the three false beliefs before, there's also a false belief that you need therapy. You are not sick and not addicted, so why would you need therapy? You can do it just on your own. There are two more key understandings to this. The first understanding is that different things make different people happy. This means that one person can be happy using substances heavily, and another person can be happy with not using substances at all. And because everyone is independent, you cannot decide what other people can do. You can just think about yourself and make the best decisions. Also, your self image plays a really big role. For example, if you see yourself as an alcoholic, it's obvious that you start to use alcohol heavily. So you need to change your self image if you think that you are heavily addicted to something. As soon as you change your self image, then you're free to go. Let me give you some tips for your way out of the addiction as well. First of all, you should make decisions based on benefits, so what you gain from the situation, and not about costs, so what you have to do because you chose like this. Another interesting thing is that withdrawal symptoms end after 3 to 14 days, so you just have to push through this period, and if you manage to push through this period, it's way easier to continue. Another thing I can tell you is that you should not binge at all. Because if you start to binge after a time of not using, you're immediately falling back into the situation where you are using substances heavily. And if you quit, this just does not make sense because this damages your self image heavily. Also, try to make the rationally best decision for you right now, and then you are fine. Irrational decisions are normal. So, for example, if you use substances once in a while, it may be irrational to others, but if you are fine with your decisions, then everything is okay. And don't get upset if you use one or two times. Also, your perspective on your decisions can change over time. For example, at the moment, you really want to use, but in 2 or 3 years, you will think about it. Why did I use so heavily? For example, why did I drink so much alcohol? So even though you now regret something, it could be possible that you made the best decision for you at the moment. Also, I want you to change your identity. As I said before, you need to develop the identity of a responsible consumer. As soon as you have this identity, you will consume with responsibility. What comes after the addiction, you might ask? Basically, there will be a time where you don't know what you should do. And for this, there's a really interesting advice. Just follow your instincts. Everything you need to be successful in real life is inside of you. So basically, just try to do what you think is best at the moment. You will fail sometimes, but you will definitely perform way better over the long term than if you let other people choose for you. If you got any value out of this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can ask any sort of questions regarding the topic in the comments below. Have a great day. Bye.